If you look in the calendar carefully, you'll find that the 1st of January 2013 was a Tuesday. And if you look again in the calendar, you'll find that the 1st of January of the next year, that's 2014, will be a Wednesday. Well, why does this happen? Why the days get shifted ahead for the same date every year? Well, let me tell you why does this happen. Actually, one year consists of 365 days, isn't it? Now 365 days, if I want to convert it into weeks, I get 52 weeks. 365 divided by 7 will give you 52 point something, so it is basically 52 weeks. Plus we have one extra day, isn't it? Actually 364 is perfectly divisible by 7, so it gets you 52, and we have one extra day. And because of this one extra day, this phenomena happens. Well, this extra day is basically called as an odd day. Well, basically the definition of an odd day is that in a given period, the number of days more than the complete weeks are called odd days. So this is one day more than the complete week. So this is an odd day. Well, now let us calculate how many odd days are there in a leap year. Well, in a leap year there are 366 days, isn't it? And 366 days can be written as 52 weeks plus 2 days, isn't it? Hence, there are 2 days that are odd in a leap year. So for an ordinary year, there is one odd day, and for a leap year, there are 2 odd days. Well, let us calculate how many odd days are there in 100 years. You know that in 100 years, there are 24 leap years, right? And the rest of the years, that is 76 years, will be ordinary years. So in a leap year there are 2 odd days, so in 24 leap years there will be 24 times 2 odd days, right? Plus in one ordinary year there is 1 odd day, so in 76 ordinary years there will be 76 times 1 odd days, right? So this is equal to, if we calculate it, you'll get 124 odd days. But this is not the correct number of odd days in 100 years, because 124 can be rounded off to weeks and some odd days as well. So let us divide 124 by 7 to calculate how many number of weeks 124 days contain. So 124 days can be written as 17 weeks and 5 days. Right? So the total number of odd days in 100 years is 5 days. Now let us calculate how many odd days are there in 200 years, 300 years and 400 years. Well, the number of odd days in 100 years is 5 days, so in 200 years will be 5 times 2, that is 10 days. Right? Now 10 days can be written as 7 days plus 3 days, and 7 days is 1 week. So this can be written as 1 week plus 3 days. Okay, now 3 days cannot be converted to a week, so 3 days is the number of odd days in 200 years. Well, what will be the number of odd days in 300 years? Well, 300 years, it can be calculated by 5 times 3, because in 100 years there are 5 odd days. So 5 times 3, that's 15 days. Right? And 15, if I divide it by 7, it cannot be divided by 7. Well, 14 can be divided by 7. So 2 weeks and 1 day, isn't it? So 1 day is the number of odd days in 300 years. And in case of 400 years, it is 5 times 4, that's 20 days. But in 400 years, the year 400 is a leap year, right? And in a leap year, there are 2 odd days. One we calculated in 20 days, so we'll have to add one more, because in a leap year there are 2 odd days. So we have to add 1 here. So this becomes 21 days. Right, and 21 days is exactly 3 weeks. Hence, the number of odd days is 0 days. Okay, now we've got the number of odd days in 400 years. So any year that is a multiple of 400 will have 0 odd days. So 800 years, 1600 years, 1200 years, even 2000 years will have 0 odd days. Right? I hope you got the point. Well, after this quite lengthy talk, you must be wondering What is the use of these odd days? Well, odd days are useful in such questions. You have been asked what was the day of the week for 2nd January 2013. So given any date, you'll be able to find what day of the week was on that date. So let us see how do we use odd days while solving this question. So we need to find how many number of odd days are there till 2nd January 2013. So what we can do, we can count number of odd days till 2012, plus we have 2 more days, that is 1st January and 2nd January. So plus 2 days. Right. Well, 2012 can be written as 2000 plus you have 12. So we need to count number of odd days for 2000 years and then for 12 years. So how many odd days are there for 2000 years? Well, 2000 is a multiple of 400, so we have 0 odd days. Right, so we have 0 odd days, plus we have how many odd days are there for 12 years? Well, 12 years has how many leap years? Well, it has 3 leap years, isn't it? So 3 leap years plus rest are ordinary years, so we have 9 ordinary years. Well, in 1 leap year we have 2 odd days, so in 3 leap years we have 3 times 2, that is 6 odd days. Whereas in 9 ordinary years we have 9 odd days, because 1 ordinary year has 1 odd day. Right, so we need to add this odd days with this 2 days. So in all we have 9 plus 6 plus 2, and that is 17 days. Right, now 17 days can be written as 14 days plus 3 days. Right, 14 days is actually 1 week plus 3 days. So we have 3 odd days in all for the time period from 01 to 2nd January 2013. Well, to know which day was on 2nd January 2013, we have a table. Let me write it. So we have just given a particular number to each day of the week. So if you have number of odd days as 3, then it's a Wednesday. Right. So 2nd January of 2013 is a Wednesday. If you are not sure, let us check it into a calendar. Well, we had this calendar 2013 January, and 2nd of January is a Wednesday, right? So indeed our answer is correct. So this is how you determine the day of the week for any given particular date.